Ahmed, thank you very much for joining me today. We're really keen to get your insight on these topics, so hopefully we can get some really good answers from you today.
Thanks a lot, Danny, for having me.
Yeah, no problem. My pleasure. So the first question for you, Ahmed, how do you effectively manage the creativity of engineering teams without limiting their enthusiasm?
Yeah, so this is a very, very interesting question. Creativity
Teams without limiting their
part, a very necessity part of our design flow. So we are faced with limitless challenges every day at work, and creativity has to be really very, very encouraged and has to be a very essential part of how we work. On the other hand, we also are faced with several constraints in our line of work. So we have the PPC constraints, power, performance, and area. And we have the time to market, where we are always have to provide our designs in specific timelines. And for sure, I think here at Bosch, we have quality as the very, very high metric that we always are known for. So combining both, we have to have creativity on one hand. On the other hand, we have to also meet our goals. So to ensure this, we implement design flows. So we try to help the designers to work in specific flows so that they are focusing on aspects where they have to be creative, where they have to provide innovative solutions. At the same time, they do it where we know that we will meet the end result in the end. So these flows help the designers to maintain creativity at the same time. It make them efficient at the work. So these flows would include tools, would include milestones, would include supports when they need. Sometimes we have templates for different aspects of design processes. So this is very essential. Another aspect is setting clear goals. So whenever we're working on a project, we have to really make it as clear as possible to the team. What exactly are the goals? What are we trying to achieve here? Sometimes, from experience, designers tend to have requirements as the challenges. So they say, yes, for sure, I can do this. This can be done without taking into consideration other aspects. So without taking into consideration how much effort is it to do this, how much complexity does it add to the whole process, not only on the design side, but also on the next stages like verification, layout, production. And this has to be really in focus. So the trade-offs, what are you accepting? What does it mean? Has to be very, very clear. Another aspect is keeping your designers up to date. So this, I think, is very straightforward. They have to be aware of what's new right now, what other approaches can be done, how to do it, what is right now hot in the industry. And this can be done through webinars, workshops, attending conferences, talking with other expert designers. And I feel this is very, very crucial. And in the end, all comes up to, in the end, is discussing with your team. So in the end, you have to all sit together, discuss this technical aspects, discuss what kind of solutions would you have in mind when you face this kind of challenge. Try to discuss the solution from all different criteria. Okay, this is good in this aspect. This would mean we'll have to work more on this kind of side. And and I feel this kind of discussions are very, very fruitful. So in the end, we kind of find a most optimal solution, and at the same time, we all learn. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that sounds like a really great way to approach things. Having those processes in place so that somebody, they can be creative, but obviously they've got the goal in mind, as you say there, to have it done by a certain date or something like that. I suppose it stops them from maybe going off on a tangent and making something a bit too complicated that's going to take too long. But also it gives them that freedom to be creative in that time that they've been allotted to be able to do that. Yeah, it sounds like a really positive way of approaching that problem for sure.
yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So, question 2, what are some ways that you help your team to feel valued and impactful?
Yeah, so this actually I learned it very early on when I was in the industry. So One of the first aspects that sometimes we miss as in the project as a project lead or as a team lead is in one project you can have hundreds of designers working, especially in SOCs, complex ones. And sometimes we forget to give them the big picture. Sometimes we forget to give them what exactly are you implementing? What is this used for? How does this fit in the end? What is this product that you're working on? How impactful is it? And we are working in a very inspiring industry, the semiconductor automotive, and we design a lot of this very, very interesting chips.
Yeah.
And I think when the designers or the team knows, okay, that my chip would be in almost every car on the streets the next 3, 4, 5 years, this gives them a lot of potential and motivation to work more and to think I'm doing really something impactful. What I'm doing is not just any normal work. Also, knowing that you are a big part of a big team, part of an international team working everywhere in the world now, all of them working for the same goal, knowing the company's principles and qualities, and knowing that you're working for a team that is very known for very high quality. This also encourages them and give them this feeling that they are part of a much bigger thing.
Yeah.
On the other aspect, we also try to give them opportunity, especially the young designers, opportunity to grow. So personally, I'm not afraid to give younger designers more responsibility whenever I feel they are capable, whenever they show potential. I try to really support them, even if it would mean I might need to work a little bit more to support, to coordinate, to moderate. But in the end, I see that on the long run, this is really really fruitful. And
Yeah.
when the designer know that you have their back, then they also have your back when you in the utmost times and whenever you need them for real. Yeah, what else is work-life balance? So I think this is pretty straightforward. When the designers and the people in your team thinks, okay, the I'm appreciated. If I need some time off, I will take it. If people will try to move things around for me, this really, really gives the feeling that you are valued. That you're really, in the end, you're an engineer. You're a person of you have your own life. You have your own aspects, and that work also comes. And then you need to we have to accommodate both at the same time.
Yeah.
Also, I try to encourage feedback in the team. So whenever I get feedback, even from younger designers, I try to be always active listener. I try to understand what could be an issue from their perspective, what could be improved. And I feel this is really important. When they feel they are appreciated, they are heard. If there is something that is going wrong from their perspective, I try to explain to them why it was done in this way, what was the history, what is the legacy, and this for sure have a huge impact on how do they handle work pressure and new challenges.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think as I mentioned, try not to be afraid giving young designers more responsibility. This kind of autonomy, trying to give them their own work. You are responsible for this task. I'm waiting for you. I'm relying on you. This kind of yeah, talk and way of handling tasks. I think give them a great motivation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I think no, that's a great message because I think it really just shows the importance, doesn't it, of communication, and particularly communication not just on a team level but on a one-to-one level as well. I think when we give somebody that human treatment, and as you say, give them the flexibility where it's needed, but rely on them, and allow them to feel responsible for something. I think that always ultimately builds that sort of self-value, doesn't it, and really makes them understand how much of a sort of important part of the team they are.
Definitely, yeah, definitely, I agree. And they are always going to go for an extra mile for you when they feel they are appreciated and understood.
Yeah,
So the was the
for
case.
sure. And it's a great way to learn as well, as you say, giving somebody more responsibility. Ultimately, they're going to be trying things they maybe haven't done before. And it's a great way to learn. Even if they make mistakes, they've got you to fall back on. And I think that's a great environment to harness somebody's potential for sure.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And I suppose then final question for you. What's the most valuable lesson that you've learned about leadership yourself, and how has that sort of shaped your approach then to leading others?
Yeah, so I've been really lucky that I was surrounded with a lot of very, very experienced and insightful engineers since I first joined the industry. And I remember in my early days as a lead, I got this advice from one of the most experienced engineers. And he once told me, you have to really have trust in your team. And back then, I remember I was really young. I was trying to keep track of every small aspect, try to get involved in every decision taken. So afraid that if I miss something, stuff would go wrong, and there is no way to fix them. And this just led to kind of micromanaging every part of the team, and getting myself involved in a lot of aspects. I was overbooking myself with a lot of additional tasks, and in the end, I was not able to focus on my real main goals. And yeah, it's really clear that micromanagement not only kill your team but also kill you as a lead. So this really messes up your schedule, messes up your goals. You're not able to focus. And slowly, I learned that I'm surrounded by great engineers, and they are motivated. They are all excited to work, and I have to really have trust in them. This has to be always they feel it. They feel that you have trust in them, that you have their back, and then you also feel that they are willing to go forward and do extra work to get stuff done correctly. And another aspect is also you have to understand that not everyone will do stuff as you do. So as a lead, you're thinking, okay, how is going to do it in this way? I never saw this before. Is this going to really work? You have to think that people are different. They're coming from different backgrounds. They have different experiences, and yeah, and you have to accept that stuff will be done differently. But in the end, the goal will be achieved, and this is your main focus. So I think this is really, really important to know as a lead, and to have faith in your team and try to support them, try to have their back. And if there are issues, then you maybe need to focus on your flow. Maybe you need to optimize something else. Maybe you need to take this into consideration next as a next step. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is
Good. And I suppose if, as you've said before, if you've got that sort of really one-to-one and sort of close relationship with somebody, and the communication is there, you'd expect them, maybe if they were struggling with something, to shout up and let you know, and then that's when you can obviously come in and get involved. But other than that, if you're not getting any communication, you can assume it's positive, and yeah, as you say, hope everybody's driving towards that same goal.
yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah. This is definitely crucial, definitely important, has to be taken into consideration.
Perfect. Thank you very much.